Good evening, everybody. I am still here in Franklin, North Carolina, and making a video I didn't want to make. I spent the last, 24 hours battling with myself, with my conscience, if you will, about this whole me being on the hike during the pandemic deal, and so, you know, I keep telling myself this is the safest place I could be, and that's true. It's, for me, it's also, you know, I follow the guidelines, I think, about as well as you can by camping away from everybody and staying out of town as much as I can and what have you. And so, yeah, I think I've done all I could to do the right thing here, but there are a lot of people on the trail who aren't. They go into every town. They gather up in big crowds when they get there, and they're hanging out with each other, and they, you know, they're just putting themselves in lots of positions to be contaminated, if you will. So, and as much as I avoid these people, you know, when you're out here on trail's only, you know, 2 foot wide at some places. You're on the side of a big bluff and hanging on a little eyebrow trail running along there. It's hard to pass people. You'll meet people, I'm northbound, and I meet people that are going southbound. A lot of the locals, and it seems that I would say 80% of the people you meet are more elderly people, you know. But even with the younger ones, it doesn't matter. You're meeting them on the trail, quite a few a day, where you actually literally squeeze past each other on the trail. And even I catch up with northbounders, and I try to go slow, but they see me back there, and they squeeze off side the trail as much as they can, let me pass. And you know, so you are coming in contact with people constantly. And like I say, I think for myself, this is the safest place I could be for me, but not for the people that I do come in contact with. You know, if I touch one person down the trail or go by them, or their dog, you know, they pet their dog and their dog runs over to me and I pet the dog or whatever. You do have to come into town. You catch shuttle rides, and almost every shuttle driver I've seen looks like they're at least in their 70s. Most of them probably in their early 80s. And you know, you just ain't no way to avoid coming into contact. You know, you go into the hotel and you order food and it's delivered to you, but the container it's been in and everything else, it has been touched by countless other people, you know. And in the end, you're just running a risk of getting it. And by going on up the trail from state to state to state, in 2 weeks, I'll have gone probably into 2 other states and passed by who knows how many people carrying, and I could be carrying this thing the whole time. So I think it's very selfish of me to stay on the trail. You know, I was being hard-headed. I was convincing myself that it was best for me, and again, like I say, it probably is, but it's not best for the community that I pass through. And you know, it's a good community. It's a tight-knit group of people that maintain the trail and help out the hikers. You know, I went into one of the hiker outfitter stores to pick up a couple of things, and they were mentioning that, you know, most of them would probably rather not be there, but as long as hikers are coming in, they're gonna stay there, you know, because every one of them need to eat and they want to work. But you know, truth is, you're just endangering so many people to be out here. So with all that said, you know, I got to officially announce that I rented me a car today, and I'm fixing to head back to Alabama, and I'm just gonna, I guess, shelter in place with my son there for, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks. If everything goes good and everything, you know, begins to clear up somewhat, then I'll get, if I can, get tested or whatever I gotta do. But I'll get back out here as soon as it's feasible, and pick up right where I left off and carry on with my hike. But for the time being, this here's the last video I'm gonna make on the trail. And I appreciate all y'all that followed me, and You know, it's kind of been a joy, like having somebody else there with me to talk to, just chatting to y'all on the phone while I'm going down the trail. But anyhow, I thank y'all, and with luck, I'll see y'all a little further up trail.